Oh hey there! Are you a hard-stuck silver in Valorant and wanna get out? Well, here are some tips that'll definitely get you out of elo hell.
Yeah, from a heart to gold.
Don't mind that.
First of all, crosshair placement. Crosshair placement is without a doubt the most important aspect of aiming in Valorant. It means keeping your aim centered on the screen, setting your crosshair at perfect head height at all times. The main benefit of good crosshair placement is that it reduces mouse movement to a minimum, giving you greater accuracy and faster reactions. Correct crosshair placement will help you significantly improve your skills and feel even more confident in game. In Valorant, there are several visual aids around all maps to help you with crosshair placement. Learning head-level indicators or references on maps helps a lot. There's usually paintings on walls or simply objects that help show where you should keep your crosshair. Counter-strafing. Counter-strafing is one of the best ways to use Valorant's first shot accuracy to your advantage. The first shot accuracy refers to the fact that your first bullet will always land on where you're aiming if you're standing still. Strafing is moving left and right continuously, while counter-strafing is having a temporary pause in between each strafe. Counter-strafing refers to the action of using those small stopping points to land accurate shots while being a harder target to hit. If you're struggling to get a hang of it, the movement error option allows your crosshair to widen while moving and get narrower while standing still. You'll know that you have the first shot accuracy activated once your crosshair is tight, and it's a great help while starting to practice your counter-strafing for the first time. Remember that counter-strafing requires you to tap once on the shooting button since the first shot accuracy doesn't work during spraying. This means that your firing rate heavily depends on how fast you can strafe. There are several different ways you can peek in Valorant, the first one being the jiggle peek. The goal of this peek is to gain information while not giving away anything. Players using this peek will barely show their bodies to the opponent. Instead, they will have the bare minimum of their body showing, remaining hard to hit. This peek works best when people are trying to isolate a specific angle. The wide peek. Wide peeking is a bit risky. Players who swing far from the corner will be open to multiple sightlines and can give enemies a long time to land shots. Most players utilizing wide peeks only do so when a teammate is peeking narrow or planning to follow up after the wide peek. But there is a huge peeker's advantage in Valorant, so the aggressive moving player usually has the upper hand. Crouch peek. This is obviously when you peek a corner while crouching and can be a great way to mix up gameplay once you're around high silver. Players will usually be pre-aimed in hopes of a headshot. Jump peeks. Jump peeking is the act of peeking a corner then promptly concealing yourself from view, all contained in a single leap. This is probably the best technique for getting information. It makes it extremely hard for the enemy to hit you if you're jump peeking properly. Crouch spraying. Many debates have occurred regarding whether you should or shouldn't crouch spray when exchanging gunfire. Many of the most favored responses mention how crouch spraying is entirely situational, but if you're someone who commonly gets shot in the head while crouching, it's probably time to get rid of the crouch spraying habit altogether. As mentioned before, you should definitely be counter-strafing more than you are crouching, as counter-strafing is a mechanic you can implement in many different scenarios. Being able to take gunfights while staying on your feet will make a crucial difference in both aim and movement. There are extremely situational duels in which a crouch spray would even just be viable. The mechanic can be very useful at times, considering that it's helpful when controlling your spray due to it lowering your crosshair to adjust to the recoil. Although this may be useful, if it becomes a bad habit where you're constantly losing your gunfights because of it, you should consider unbinding crouch.
Those are all the main things you need to know to get out of silver. Trust me, I've gotten out of it twice. Oh yeah, and between you and me, you could always just start an aim routine? No. Buy skins. Okay, I'm kidding. Don't buy skins. But there is one more thing I'd like to clarify. Try not to get too sucked into the grind of ranked, playing the game for hours on end, and just ruining the entire enjoyment of the game for yourself. Remember, you're supposed to have fun amidst all that rank climbing. And that's all for my video. Thank you.
I know exactly where you are.
My brim gone?
Oh.
Last player standing.
Ash, you good?
I'm done.